Hi, my name is Nidhi Sudhan. I am co-founder of Citizen Digital Foundation. Recently, there was a news of a data breach of the CoWIN app, wherein investigative journalists in Kerala found out that you could enter anyone's mobile number into a Telegram chatbot and get all the details of what their address is, their ID card numbers, their mobile numbers, who else in their family got vaccinated, and so on and so forth. Regardless of how the news develops, I thought it's important to talk about what privacy as a concept means to us, we the people, and understand the consequences of such a data breach beyond the leaking of our information, our personal, demographic, financial information. The digital world is rapidly evolving, and our concept of privacy has also evolved over a period of time. What we used to consider extremely private and information that we would never share with anyone, we tend to share a lot of that online nowadays. So, for example, we may not be okay with our grocer asking us several questions like where we live, what we do for a living, how much we earn, who else is in our family, what are our other shopping habits, and even ask for our ID card before actually selling us something, right? However, we are okay with submitting all these information online if we are to actually even purchase something or even sign up for a service. That's because in exchange for that, we get tremendous convenience, great service, intuitive solutions, and it enhances our efficiency overall. So often when we hear the news about a data breach such as this one, the language that we see is millions of records have been breached, phone numbers, email accounts, addresses, that our data has been sold to third parties, or the dark web now has access to our data. And we think, so what if our address has been leaked? We don't really sense the alarm because it's not the equivalent of a physical disaster. It's invisible largely. We are not able to visualize beyond somebody stalking us, following us. Maybe if they have our address and if they have a vendetta with us, they might just come home and hurt us. When it comes to financial data, the language talks about bank accounts being breached, bank details being lost. And then we wonder, have I lost money? If I have not actually lost money, then maybe my bank account was not breached, and that's the end of it. When it comes to CoWIN data breach, we are wondering if the maximum details that are out there about us is about our family members, where I got vaccinated, whether I got vaccinated. How is that going to be misused? We're not able to visualize that entirely. Now, this is where I want to talk about what profiling and targeting is. These are the most surreptitious or clandestine methods through which our deepest fears or vulnerabilities can be influenced or even manipulated. This could lead to us being exposed to the kind of dangers that go beyond the scope of being stalked or followed because of our personal or even financial information being leaked. A lot of information that we provide online to platforms are voluntarily submitted. For example, our name, date of birth, email, phone number, these are necessary to avail of the services that we are signing up for. Other details, for example, our bank details, credit card details, or our address, we provide to banks or when we are making a purchase online. And even there, we have a trusted ecosystem of how we make the payment. For example, there are trusted payment partners or delivery partners through which these transactions are exchanged. Now, beyond that is the scope of biometric data, which is often also classified under sensitive data. For example, our facial recognition, our retina scan, our palm print, fingerprint, our voice, these are all extremely sensitive information. Why are these data classified as sensitive? Because these are unique identifiers of an individual. And that is why, if breached, bad actors can use these unique identifiers to create fake profiles and conduct criminal activity. Additionally, our sensitive data also reveal our health vulnerabilities. Historically, what are the health conditions we've had, or what are the health conditions that we are prone to? And as we know, all of our sensitive data is right now stored in our Aadhaar card, which is why any breach of Aadhaar data exposes us to several dangers out there. I spoke about voluntary data that we submit. Other than that, there's a whole bunch of involuntary data that we also submit platforms. Often we think that we are engaging with our devices in very, very intimate moments, but they're actually not. All of the behavior that we demonstrate online, the kind of videos we like, the kind of videos we watch, how long we watch it, what are the kind of forums that we engage in, what are the kind of groups that we follow and are part of, all this involuntarily gives platforms a very, very deep understanding into what kind of individuals we are. Information about what do we like, what do we hate, what are we really afraid of, and what is really precious to us. All these are information that can be inferred from our activities online and then be linked to our unique identifiers to further target us with not just advertising about shoes and clothes and holidays, but also communications that speak to these fears, that speak to these aspirations and shape what we believe further. The online persona that is created of us can be used to provide us very specific kinds of information that we are more likely to engage with. Whatever will ensure that we stay online longer is what we are often seeing online, which is how a filter bubble is exactly formed. So when we engage with a certain set of information, it is speaking to our biases, our likes, our dislikes, what makes us angry, what makes our beliefs stronger. Now, you might think, I'm a perfectly rational thinking human being. It's not going to be easy to manipulate me. That's right, it's not easy to manipulate you, but it is possible to manipulate you. All of us are susceptible to some form of manipulation because we are at the end of the day thinking, feeling human beings. We have our own individual fears, dreams, hopes, aspirations that can be spoken to. Believe it or not, it is actually way more profitable for some of these entities, especially with malintent, to actually influence the way you think, get you to think a certain way and make you do certain things, especially online, and also then transfer those behavior into your real life, than it is to actually steal your money or defraud you online. So in the event of a data breach, what happens is that actors that we did not intend to share our data with also get access to our data. In the past and even now, end users' data or citizens' data have been used to influence their belief systems or manipulate their ideologies and shape and alter and hack their thinking and opinions into something that vested interests have intended to. And if there are parties, whether for political interest, whether for profit interest, whether for reputational interest, if there are parties that are interested in using this data in specific ways, there are tools available online. And these are the first instances of artificial intelligence that we have engaged with, especially with social media. The kind of tools that allow these kinds of manipulations to happen. So often as end users of a reel or a short or a video or something that we are reading online, we're not aware of this large ecosystem that functions behind it to serve us that content. So the differentiation that I'm trying to make here is that a data breach is not merely limited to our address or our financial data being revealed, although those are very, very big dangers. It goes beyond areas that we do not even see or perceive or understand. And that is where the real danger lies. When we as a society can be manipulated into thinking something which we have not otherwise thought about. We don't know how much of them are credible or non-credible. You know, a lot of times memes speak much more powerfully to us than an established researched scientific paper, because memes speak to us emotionally. And emotional manipulation is one of the most potent tools of the social media ecosystem and its application of artificial intelligence that we have seen in the last few years. And it has been established over and over again in how countries across the world have seen genocides being influenced, extremist recruitment being influenced, elections being manipulated, troll farms being deployed by one country over the other, information warfare. Another instance of how our data can be used against us is discrimination. in the essential facilities that we are entitled to. For example, healthcare, education, jobs, livelihood, loans, financial support of any kind. And this is quite possible based on the data that these systems that provide these services already have on us. So for example, I could be denied a home loan because someone in my family has had a criminal record. Or my children could be denied an education loan because we live in an area which has historically had a higher crime rate, although we may not reflect any of those statistics individually. We may be denied medical care because of what our income background is. So while these social systems have been put in place to ensure that everybody gets equal access to all these basic fundamental social services, the information that goes into it might work against us in terms of creating discrimination on our background, on our religion, on our caste, class, and a whole bunch of other things. So you'll ask, what is the solution? Is there a way out? All our data is anyway out there. Yes, there is. You can still be in control of how your data is put out there and how it is used. Be very, very careful about where you give out your Aadhaar card. It is not required to book holidays, to book travel tickets, to buy mobile SIM cards. Please use it very sparingly where it is necessary. Somehow it has become a norm to ask for Aadhaar in the first instance whenever a service is provider, but be more mindful and question, why is an Aadhaar required? Or just say, I'll just provide my driver's license instead. Make it a habit as a critical thinking citizen to make sure that you're informed as much as possible in this ecosystem on how your data is being used. Ask the right questions about data security. Especially when submitting Aadhaar card to any portal, you must ask questions and you have the right to ask those questions. Check out their FAQs, and if there is not enough clarity about how your personal and sensitive data is going to be used, then refrain from using that service up until the point that they develop a strong, robust data security ecosystem. Secondly, try and read privacy policies of any service that you're signing up for online. Do not be clicking on links mindlessly because you don't know what leads to where. When you consume content, be more mindful that your behavioral data is being fed into the profiles that are created about you. Manage your digital footprint more wisely. Finally, seek out organizations and entities in India that work for Indian citizens' digital rights. There are few organizations in India that work to protect your online rights, online autonomy, data privacy, and things like that. Follow their work, read their work, try to understand that and be more informed in the way you navigate online. I hope that was useful for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop it in our comments section or reach out to us on hello@citizendigitalfoundation.org. See you again.